Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's live stream on how to study effectively with ChatGPT. Let me, sorry, I have some troubles with my microphone. 1 second. So, Alex, can you hear me? Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, that probably is something on my side. So just ignore me. Okay, let me introduce our speaker, Alexander Avdichenko. Alexander holds a PhD in math modeling and uh, sorry, I found out what the problem was. So let's try again. Alexander holds a PhD in math modeling. He's also an educator and project manager on the JetBrains education and research team, and a lecturer at Neapolis University Paphos, if I'm not mistaken. And he also lectures there about computer science. And let me just add a few words about the program. It's a bachelor's degree in computer science, and JetBrains offers up to 20 cost of living stipends annually for the program students, and admission is open until June 12th, so don't hesitate to check out this opportunity. I will share the link in the comments, and we'll also try to feed today a Q&A session after the talk and during the talk. So please write down your questions in the comment section. And without further ado, let's welcome Alex. The stage is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Alena. So hello everyone. Again, I'm happy to have a talk here, and let me offer you to write your city in comments. It's very interesting for us. And today we discuss the crucial role of artificial intelligence, and particularly ChatGPT, in enhancing study methods and educational practice. Essentially, the talk will consist of three parts. So the first one will be a presentation of compelling evidence from recent studies, such as the remarkable capabilities of the AI system like AlphaGeometry that outperformed traditional methods by solving complex olympiad-level geometry problems. In the second part, we'll discuss practical student experiences with AI, illustrating its application in preparing for coding, exams, and more. In the last third part, we'll talk about teachers' experience and how best to balance the use of AI assistants with independent critical thinking. So let's start with the fact that the race for artificial so-called general intelligence is on, with significant developments from OpenAI's GPT-4, which we saw a year ago, to the recent Gemini from Google AI and Claude 3 from Anthropic. These advancements highlight the continuous growth in AI and the importance of staying at the forefront of such innovation. On the left side of the slide, you can see the gigantic numbers of GPUs, hundreds of thousands, which modern tech companies buy mostly for future AI development. Let's break down the key aspects of each three models to see how they stack up against each other and what that means for users like us in the academic and technological fields. In terms of model size, GPT-4 has an impressive 1.76 trillion parameters, making it one of the most powerful models in terms of raw processing and complexity. Gemini, on the other hand, offers variable sizes up to 100 trillion, allowing customization based on the user's specific needs. Meanwhile, the specifics of Claude 3's model size remain undisclosed, hinting at a potentially different approach or proprietary technology. Focusing on their key features, GPT-4 excels in advanced language understanding, which is crucial for generating human-like text and complex problem solving. Gemini is designed to be highly customizable, suitable for specific tasks that may require something from your own knowledge. And Claude 3 is famous for its human-like interactions, making it ideal for applications involving conversational AI. So regarding applications, GPT-4 has been great in content creation and coding assistant. Gemini shines in data analysis and predictive tasks, providing robust tools for researchers and data scientists. And Claude 3 finds its strength in customer support and serving as a virtual assistant. And the state-of-the-art results are truly impressive. We start with a groundbreaking paper published in January 2024 in Nature. This study introduces us to AlphaGeometry, an olympiad-level AI system designed specifically to tackle complex school geometry tasks. AlphaGeometry has achieved a remarkable result by successfully solving 25 out of 30 geometry problems from the International Mathematical Olympiad. I'm sure you know the complexity of these tasks. And to put these achievements into context, the previous best method could only solve 10 problems, and average human, I think, doesn't solve even one problem. But how did AlphaGeometry reach such a proficiency? By harnessing existing symbolic engines and applying them to a diverse set of random theorem premises, the AI system managed to extract an astonishing 100 million synthetic theorems and their corresponding proofs. So here researchers managed to add to the AI system a really and truly deep understanding of school geometry. Moreover, AlphaGeometry produces nearly 10 million synthetic proof steps that involve constructing auxiliary points. So the AI is not just following a set of rules, it's exhibiting an understanding of geometry that allows it to reach solutions in a way that reminiscent of human intuition, our intuition, and creativity. So you see the implications of these advancements are profound. They not only revolutionize the way we approach mathematical problems, but also pave the way for future applications of AI in education and beyond. In this slide, you see three parts. On the left, we'll begin with a simple problem from high school geometry. The triangle ABC has two equal sides, AB and AC. And we are required to prove that the angles opposite these sides are also equal. It's a basic problem that tests understanding of isosceles triangles. The process starts with the AI constructing the necessary points and lines as shown in the middle section of the diagram. There it strategically decides on constructions and deductions needed to reach a solution. Then the AI encounters a right solution. It retraces its steps and tries different approaches if the solution is wrong, until it finds a viable solution path. And moving to a more complex scenario, the image below outlines the AI approach to solving a problem from the 2015 IMO. This problem involves constructing points, understanding properties of circles and tangents. So you see there is triangle and a lot of circumcircles, and you need to prove that two of them are tangent to each other. And the problem is really difficult. You see, we even don't know from the first view how to solve it. And for AlphaGeometry, the problem is more difficult too, but AlphaGeometry can solve this problem too. And the system like that invites us to reimagine the future of education and academic competition. So it's really exciting time both for mathematicians, educators, and of course students. And you see on the image we highlight the key constructions of the system to solve the problem correctly and fully as as human participants of IMO. Okay, let's go on. And here we see that there are no fundamental limitations to the AI system like AlphaGeometry. So it is possible to apply them to a wide range of domains, not just geometry. So one could select key construction which solve the problem in such fields as number theory, solving equations, combinatorics, and especially inequalities, because there are formal proofs and formal tasks. They are difficult, but they don't differ much from geometry Olympiad tasks. And I think that soon the similar systems can solve almost all tasks from the International Mathematical Olympiad, not only geometry ones. And even now, we can use ChatGPT for solving Olympiad math problems. For example, here I upload some task in natural language. We consider a not so difficult first math problem from the International Mathematical Competition for university students. There you have differentiable function f, which is equal to 0 at point A. And the function has bounded derivative with absolute value of f multiplied by lambda. And we need to prove that f is constant 0. So how do you think? If ChatGPT helps me solve the attached math problem? Of course, yes. So it's amazing, but you see here, ChatGPT can solve such a problem pretty much like a talented and trained math student. It generates a solution, this is the answer of ChatGPT, with a few steps, which is almost correct. It's not ideal, but it is correct and clear enough to pass this task, actually. So you can see the solution from ChatGPT on the slide, and you can see it later and check if it really true or not. But this is really close to ideal solution, to my mind. So we see that AI is developing very fast, and AI assistants are becoming more and more smart with the time. And because of it, now it's clear that we must use them more and more. But the question is how we can use them for studying. First of all, AI can help guide your thinking, search for relevant information, and even generate insights with you. This means that you can focus only on the critical thinking and, of course, verification part. So you need to check the output from such systems. For instance, you can ask ChatGPT to create a syllabus and lesson plan for learning C++ effectively if you want. And you can request a list of topics and concepts that you should explore to gain a comprehensive understanding of C++. And these prompts, for example, can help guide, so the answers of ChatGPT can help guide your learning process, and ensure you cover all the necessary material. Of course, it's true not only for C++, but for Rust, Python, any programming languages, and almost any scientific field of modern science, actually. Okay, so now let's make a little pause for a moment before the second part of the talk. And of course, you are free to ask me any questions about the first part.
Yeah, I have a question. Considering the rapid advancements in AI technologies like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude 3, and so on, how do you envision these tools impacting educational methodologies over the next decade, for example?
So yeah, there will be a lot of changes, and we have to do it. For example, you see, now we almost don't need any textbooks with solution, because almost all the problems, even from mathematics, could be solved with AI systems. And of course, we need to use this AI system wisely, both teachers and students, to improve our quality of education and maybe speed of education. So we will discuss some problems in the second and the third part of the talk. Yeah.
We have one more question from Paul. I will show it on the screen. How does GitHub Copilot fit into the classification of AI systems?
Yes, I will say some words about GitHub Copilot, which actually I am using myself. So we discussed it a little bit, but of course, the main focus of GitHub Copilot is generating code of the best quality. This is why we cannot use only GitHub Copilot to solve for example, all the problems from educational, from mathematics, physics, and even computer science. But yeah, it's one of the AI system we will discuss a little bit, and we will see in this presentation.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay, great. So the second part. Let's begin with the fact that students master new technologies just as well as teachers, or even better. And we consider two typical examples from students of our educational program in Cyprus. Nadezhda, with her friends, had one exam in the format of solving practical cases. So they had to prepare using only 2 task samples from the teacher. And they added the theory from the slide of all the lectures into a GPT system, followed it with the exam samples. And they asked AI to generate similar task samples based on the received theory, so based on the material from lectures. And it was, after this, they have a lot of samples to prepare for an exam, and it was a super fast preparation for this kind of exam. And let's look at another example from Yaroslav. He was given some task to write some kind of convolutional neural network. Initially, then looking at such a task, it is not always clear how to approach it and where to start. In the past, Google solved this, helping with existing solutions and showing how related tasks are done and so on. But now ChatGPT just writes the first version of code. Or, of course, you can use here GitHub Copilot to write the first version of convolutional neural network. Usually, approximately 20% of this code remains in the final version of neural network. And sometimes the system even writes completely inadequate code, which, however, helps to understand what to search next, what to think about. And in the following process of execution, Yaroslav uses ChatGPT just as a bug fixer. So what are the pros and cons of using, for example, ChatGPT in studying? Let's begin with the useful cases. Firstly, it helps answer questions for tools with poor or inaccessible documentation. For example, it can tell you how to start using GNU debugger. It also provides nice and quick examples for some JSONs and other objects, or some values to fill in the database. And one of the main points for us, it helps to overcome the fear of a blank slate. It's really easy to start with AI and to get into solution of your problem. And what it doesn't handle well, definitely, it is any task where you have a large general context of the whole project. Also, it is non-typical problems in not so popular areas. For example, if you ask to solve a dynamic programming problem in Haskell, it gives you funny answers which are totally wrong. And crucial for us, for different mathematical facts, a lot of the GPT-generated proofs are still incorrect. Now, let's switch gears a little bit and dive into my personal story. And also, let's try to think, if or when does AI replace me? So I was born and raised in a faraway, snowy Novosibirsk in a beautiful Soviet family. Mother is a doctor, father is an engineer. Also, I have an older brother. Childhood in the 90s was fun. Unfinished buildings as playground, the sea and the forest instilled a love of sports and tourism. In school, about the 6th grade, I tried mathematics. Already in the 7th grade, I won the regional math Olympiad. It was almost a miracle. There we go, a physics and mathematics school in the legendary Akademgorodok. Then there was math at Novosibirsk State University, science, and the motto was, you could not be a scientist, but a candidate of science must be. So I made my PhD thesis in math modeling in the Institute of Computational Technologies in Siberia. And in graduate school, I wanted to try something else. In parallel, the hype about machine learning grew, and Yandex company wanted to come into Novosibirsk with the development office. This chance couldn't be missed, and I was fortunate to simultaneously become a head and a student of the Yandex school in Novosibirsk. It was truly challenging. I even took academic leave for the first time in my life. But I like everything. I learned a lot of programming and machine learning there. And I already worked as a data scientist at Yandex at the graduation from the Yandex data school. Of course, it was very beneficial for about 3 years of experience in industrial programming and analytics. But again, I became increasingly aware that I was drawn back to teaching science and organizing education. So I moved to St. Petersburg and started working as a head of the machine learning bachelor's program in the new Department of Mathematics and Computer Science of St. Petersburg State University. It was such an educational startup within the university, a very strong team, support from different tech companies such as JetBrains, Gazprom Neft, Yandex, and other companies. Many ambitious tasks and one big goal to create something like MIT in Russia. And now I am working here in Cyprus at JetBrains, developing a new bachelor's program, Computer Science and Artificial Intelligence at Neapolis University. So now goes an intriguing question. Can or when does AI replace me? The researchers tested GPT-4V, the previous best model from OpenAI, before GPT-4o. They tested it on reasoning problems found in intelligence tests and exams like the SAT. So SAT is a standardized test used for college admissions in the United States. It is a multiple choice pencil and paper test that measures a student's reading, writing, and math skills. And surprisingly, GPT-4V performed impressively well, getting 700 out of 800 points on the math set. And this outperformed the average score of human participants. Personally, I tested GPT-4V on some assignments for university students, and it solved a lot of them successfully too. So it seems that AI is already capable of replacing me in some tasks, and we don't know what will be in the future. Anyway, I can still drive a car, somehow understand and talk to people, and this is the only hope that it will help me pay the bills. Okay, now let's make second pause for your questions before the last part of the talk.
Yeah, I'll start. How can educators ensure that the use of such advanced AI tools in solving mathematical problems doesn't undermine the learning process, but rather enhances students' understanding and analytical skills, because there are many ways to use it otherwise in other direction?
Yeah, this is actually a hard question because, of course, I mean, humans sometimes like to cheat, but for now, and so we need to understand together, both teachers and students, that cheating is not our way. So we need to, as you know, as learning to play chess, for example. So we already have a lot of systems which are really strong in playing chess, but still there are a lot of people who learn to play very good and better with the time. And the same approach we need to use in education. So we need to educate ourselves together and not teaching, and to very carefully choose. For teachers, we need to very carefully choose mandatory tasks, and students have to solve them without AI assistance. And then we need to correct the understanding of the material together. I think this is the only way, actually.
Okay. In what ways can AI tools be used to foster not just better learning outcomes, but also encourage critical thinking and creativity among students?
Yeah, this is good questions, and I will try to answer, in 5 minutes in the third part. So yeah, we select some activities which really truly are important for education and for development critical thinking of all the students. Okay, so if we have no any other questions, let's go on to the last part, actually. And here, let me share my own workflow for teaching and lecture preparation, for example, but not only for that. Firstly, I usually work in PyCharm complemented with the Textify IDEA plugin. This combination brings together Python, LaTeX, and even JavaScript all in one place. And it allows me using powerful autocompletion from PyCharm and all the inspections of IDE, and of course, inverse search from PDF, for example. Next, let's discuss the help of AI assistant. It is capable of assisting with translations in a broader sense, not only between languages, but it can convert formats, elaborate short ideas into detailed descriptions, and even to oral speech. So further, I am using the GitHub Copilot plugin. It offers practical pieces of code, draft solutions, and generally helps speed up the writing of text content for my lectures, of course, for your programs if you are a developer, for example. And last but not least, the Grazie plugin checks for typos and polishes long sentences. Its purpose is to ensure that your text is clean, concise, and clear before reaching your audience. So here I'd like to show the concrete example from my own experience. It is producing the problem for the International Mathematical Competition for students. First of all, I have chosen an appropriate problem from ancient times of my teaching at Novosibirsk State University. There I organized math contests with tricky Olympiad tasks, so I need to translate the problem from Russian to English and to make a LaTeX format from Microsoft Word. You see here on the left side that with the help of AI assistant, I can do it in a few seconds. So here I get the translation to English, and I simply copy-paste the answer to the working area in the middle. Here you see it. Then I check the result, and sometimes I look at the Grazie suggestions. Yeah, so for example, here elements, and here I don't accept the suggestion because it suggests something strange about additional dot in the text after the word elements, but often it helps to polish the text. Then I compile text sources and again look at the PDF file on the right side of the screen. So then I need to write a solution to the task. So I think through the solution and type it in LaTeX format. Firstly, here I write x squared equals 0. Then LaTeX write arrow command goes. And here you can see that GitHub Copilot helps me to write solution very quickly. So in gray, this is the suggestion from Copilot. Sometimes it even makes simple calculation for me with math formulas. So here you will see it. I write the second part of the solution. I need to prove that the product being equal to 0 is commutative, so that if AB equals 0, then BA equals 0, and vice versa. You see, sometimes again, I disagree with the Copilot suggestions, for example, here. But eventually, I agree with the long line from the GitHub Copilot here. So B times AB equals 0. That means that BA squared equals 0 and that BA equals 0. That's right. And eventually, I again recompile text sources and get the final PDF file done. So for me, it is really fast, effective, and convenient workflow. Maybe you will consider using something similar for your own practice. So to generate text with the help of different AI assistants. Okay, now let's go on. And let's discuss a few observations about modern education from our teachers. First, they noted the incredible speed of learning today. Essentially, as soon as new knowledge emerges, it becomes almost immediately available to everyone. For instance, imagine we discover something on Twitter today. By tomorrow, we've already added a new skill to our repertoire. And in just a week, all of our students have acquired this skill too. That's why the crucial skill nowadays becomes the ability to solve unsolved problems. Also, our teachers highlighted certain essential activities for the development of critical thinking. And this is the answer to the previous question. So those activities include crafting mathematical proofs and checking them, of course. Then you need to debug problems in code or systems, even in code generated by AI. Then you need to solve tasks related to system engineering, so to build from scratch something difficult, something complex. System engineering, and you can include robotics here. So physical world is still very difficult even for AI, for modern AI. And importantly, you must engage in human discussion and debate. So you need to discuss everything with other students and teachers and to check your understanding. Each activity in its own way sharpens our ability to evaluate information, to develop our critical thinking, and to make reasoned judgments. Okay, here in the final part of the talk, let's look at the practical use cases of AI that teachers are utilizing right now. AI can significantly streamline the creation of lecture materials. With a simple prompt, it can help you generate a detailed lecture outline and even convert that outline into visually engaged slides using tools like Reveal.js, for example, if you are using JavaScript. Next, teachers are experimenting with AI's capabilities by checking the effectiveness of LLM in answering assignment questions. This not only tests the AI's understanding, but also helps to identify how students might use such technology to aid their learning. Of course, in the realm of art and visuals, DALL-E 3 is another remarkable tool. It's capable of creating nice, high-quality illustrations, whether in raster or in vector formats, and now you can even change the image according to your opinion. These illustrations can then be used to enhance teaching materials and engage students. And lastly, AI is taking on the task of handling routine responsibilities, from drafting course syllables to managing other repetitive tasks. AI is opening up space for teachers to focus on more personalized and creative aspects of their or our work. And now, as we reach the final of the presentation, I'd like to leave you with some takeaways. Firstly, the panorama of reliable information sources has evolved over the centuries. But yet another constant remains: the need for critical thinking and verification. In today's fast-paced world, this need is not just constant, but has become more crucial than ever. Secondly, the incredible speed at which information is now accessible presents us with new opportunities. It allows for rapid learning, immediate access to knowledge, and the ability to connect globally, of course. However, it also demands from us a strong sense of discernment and responsibility. As a company, JetBrains addressing these changes means adapting and innovating. We already have AI assistant integrated across all the products, improving our and your workflows and decision-making process. And finally, we don't just adapt, but lead. We have the opportunity to be pioneers in deep integration of AI into software development and educational tools also, both online and offline. By doing this, we can shape a smarter, more efficient working and learning environment. So I invite you to join us in studying and in development new learning environments. It's really fun and exciting. And of course, your thoughts, feedback, and ideas are invaluable. I encourage you to connect me on Telegram or GitHub. Let's collaborate and shape the future of education together. So thank you very much for your attention. that's all from my side, and I will be glad to answer any questions now.
Yes, as the host, I have one more question before we move forward to the questions in the chat. So I'd like to ask, how do you personally use ChatGPT for educational purposes? I believe that you're not only a lecturer, but maybe you're, I don't know, eager to learn something by yourself. So is there some?
Yes, actually, I tried to describe all the key aspects of my work. So I use a lot of AI assistants in creating learning materials, but of course I double check everything before before coming to the audience, to the room, and I often check the ability to solve assignment of the last version of ChatGPT or Gemini and so on. And this year, I almost in almost every assignment, I tried to make it unsolvable for AI assistant. So just copy paste to the system and getting answer. Now it's not working. But previously, 2 or 3 years ago, I could think that if all tests are done, are okay, then probably student is okay with the assignment. Now this is not the case. So for example, we are trying to have offline oral exams to check and to enhance the students' understanding of material.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, we have questions in the comments. I will show them. Okay, question from Floris. How can IntelliJ or the other JetBrains Academy plugin be adapted to prevent students from getting AI solutions in the IDEs?
Yes, a very, very good question. So inside JetBrains Academy plugin, we even now have alpha version, so the nightly build of plugin, which is AI tutor. So it prevents you from getting totally right answers, but it tries to help you to come up with the solution by your head. So it gives you some hints and try to explain everything in our words, and this is hard task, but it is solvable. So you can, I think you can download the nightly version, or for now our internal product, but we definitely will will release the version of AI Tutor in our Academy plugin.
Okay.
And this is one of the ways, so using only built-in plugin and not asking ChatGPT, for example, which have no any filters.
Yeah. Next question from Igor. How do I know that ChatGPT is giving me the correct answer? Let's say I'm learning something with zero previous knowledge and asking ChatGPT to provide me with a syllabus. Can we verify its answer?
Yes, so let me ask you how to verify that your teacher is okay with material and gives you only correct answers. So this is really a problem of education, not of ChatGPT, for example. And actually, the only normal way is trying to ask your teacher, ask GPT how to verify it. Then if you are getting some test, and maybe when you are getting things done, for example, in programming, it's easy. Your program either work or not, and you see the result on your screen, and that's okay. In more difficult, more complex tasks as mathematics, for example, where you need to prove something, the only way is discussing with other people. So you need to discuss with them and to think. But you know, from some level, mathematicians can check their proofs. So you can check your own proof if it's correct or not, and even you can find error in your proof. So it is possible for human to check even yourself, and of course you can check your teacher or ChatGPT answer too. But yeah, you need some to reach some level of understanding, of logical reasoning and critical thinking. But it is possible, and of course I encourage everybody to get to this level. For example, checking and creating mathematical proofs.
Okay. I have one more question. There are a lot of new models out there. You can create your own AI assistant, AI video with lip sync technologies and things like that. So, do you believe that in near future, ChatGPT and other AIs could eventually replace you as a lecturer, and we will see only your avatar on the screen instead of you yourself?
I am sure that yes, even this talk may be not better, but maybe the same quality or even better quality even now. So we have tools to make similar video with my picture or you know, with my avatar talking very good English with my voice and you know, clicking on the slide. And so there are two problems: how to answer questions, but even this, it is now I think it is possible so to to upload questions to some API and to get answers, and it will be very natural. And the second question, and it's more difficult. So now we are online, but we can have the same lecture offline. And now, and here we need me still. So making this lecture offline is human, only for is only human task yet. And I hope that we will value this, so the conversation between human, our chat, and so on. And this is we have value in yeah, in discussing some ideas.
Okay.
But yeah, but some part of educational definitely are okay to move to transfer to AI, and if it is verified material, it will be very good for students, maybe better than human producing, because you know we are sometimes tired, we are maybe ill, and so on. And there are a lot of problems with human teachers.
Yeah, but we'll see. I hope that we will see it well, you know, in the nearest future. I wanted to remind all of our viewers that if you have some questions, feel free to write them down in the comments section, and maybe there are some interesting things that you would like to share with us. Paul says, большое спасибо.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Evcharisto. So we are in Cyprus. Evcharistopoli.
Okay. As a person from Germany, I said, bitte, bitte. Okay. So if that's all, I think we can wrap things up. What do you think? So thank you very much for joining us today. It was a really nice talk. And we will hope to see you soon on our next live streams and maybe even at our bachelor programs.
Yeah, thank you very much. Have a nice evening.
Bye.